everybody, Tarik Rever here. So I'm a huge fan of Death Note, the anime, manga. I haven't seen too much of live action, but now Netflix is having their own live action version of Death Note. I wonder how that's going to be. That's been more of a trend lately about like taking. Well, actually, not even lately, but for a while. Like if you even look at the original Power Rangers. The original Power Rangers had Japanese action sequences, sci-fi action sequences, for martial arts, and then they took that and had American actors do the verbal overlap, like in terms of like just like without the costume, and then they superimposed like the action sequences already have been done like 10 years before or longer before that. So that's kind of interesting. This here basically is Netflix taking the entire story. I mean, L, Light, the Shinigami, Ryuk, and everybody from the story and making it to like an American version. So I have a mixed emotion about it because one, the little statement I only saw a little bit of the live action from original one from Japan, and it definitely had a different feel, and I just didn't feel the same as I did the animation. The anime was like, oh man, it was just like perfection. I mean, it was a masterpiece, So Netflix is trying to take a crack at it, but I don't know. There's a teaser out, so I don't know. Let's check it out. I'm a little afraid. We'll check this out together. Okay. Here we go. Oh, it's a film, not a series. Okay.
The human whose name is written in this note shall die.
Well, that's cool. That's supposed to be light? Weird.
Shall we begin?
I tell you what, I think the Shinigami Ryuk, I think I'm gonna watch it for him. I mean, Willem Dafoe is playing him, and just the kind of like silhouette, you can see like the sort of quills come out the shoulders. That actually looked, I mean, the outline, the silhouette of him looked like him. And Willem Dafoe's face already looks like him. If you haven't, I mean, Willem Dafoe is like a method actor, and essentially this role is made for him. Everyone says that Willem Dafoe will be a really good Joker, and this is like the next best thing is being a Joker, because this is like a kind of like demonic version of the Joker, essentially. So I'm gonna watch it for that. The guy that plays Light, Light's a teenager. You can tell he's supposed to be in high school, but he doesn't even look like a teenager. Like he looks. I mean, it's nothing wrong being older. You're wrong. I'm older, but if you're playing a teenager, you should be a teenager. Like that's why I like the new guy's playing Spider-Man, because I mean he really is a teenager. He doesn't have to like improvise. He just he plays well. He's British, so he doesn't change his accent, but essentially he can tap into like his own angst and sort of coming of age and everything he's like kind of like working through. Like the formulation of all that. His character looks, I could look it up for sure, but I mean, he definitely looks older, and Hollywood and America has a habit like that. Like, I don't know if you ever seen like stuff like 90210, like back in the day, and all the other shows, and like those kids, they weren't even kids, they're like 30 playing 17, 16 year olds. So this guy, I don't know. So that's kind of weird, I'm gonna still watch it. I mean, it's free. It's on Netflix. I don't feel bad taking time out to do this. I'm just so used to the whole story, and like and putting in a movie like that might be tricky. there's so many layers to go into this. You know what I'm saying? There's so many like it's a chess game, and Light and L are true intellectuals. I don't want to like say too much if you haven't read it or seen it or something like that, but all I'm gonna say is that it's a masterpiece. You know, so it's kind of ambitious for Netflix to do that. The whole thing going on with Iron Fist right now, and people sort of let down, for not everybody, but some people about that. That this is another adaptation instead of from a comic. This is from a manga anime going to live action. So they have another thing to prove that they can do. So I was like, man, they're really ambitious, Netflix. You know, so I'm really hoping that I really didn't know I like it as much as I want to like it, because it's not centered in Japan. Don't have the original ethnicities in place, you know, and so it's kind of hard to imagine other people playing them. And I would prefer, be honest, I prefer if it's the same exact story, but just, well, not the same exact story, but basic premise of Death Note, but this happens to be in America. Like Death Note shows up in America, like a side story, and then everybody really likes this, and then I say, okay, they really like this. Netflix makes the original story, saying here's the prequel or something like that. You know, that'd be really cool. But now they can't do that, so I don't know. Anyways, well, like, share, subscribe. Let me know in the comments what you think about the teaser trailer, and if you're a fan of the manga and anime, let me know what your thoughts about this adaptation. So overall, I have to see it to really say, but I'm just kind of like worried. But I'm gonna watch it. I mean, it'd be cool to see some of the characters, at least the main. Well, it's not the main one, but to me is the main one. Other than Light and L, the main character would be the Shinigami himself. You know, Ryuk. Okay, cool. Subscribe. All right, thank you.